Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope everybody had a great week last week, and we're going to prepare ourselves mentally for the week ahead. Shout out to High Key Lifestyle. Remember, this is a lifestyle, and we got to do this every day. So before I get started, just let me throw in this Dirt Road to Rodeo, the theme song. And like I said, Dirt Road to Rodeo, it's not about me, it's about you. Dirt Road to Rodeo is about that journey that we all got to take in life. Dirt Road to Rodeo is about becoming the best version of yourself. Dirt Road to Rodeo is about growth. It's about change. What up, Madeira? How are you? I'm going to throw this Dirt Road to Rodeo on while we let a few people join. You know what we do. Ain't nothing changed but the date. We going hard every day. We fighting for our positivity every day. We fighting for the life that we want to live every day because we know we got to do it and nobody is going to do it for us. So we might as well get busy and let's go. So for now, Dirt Road to Rodeo.
Rodeo out the mud.
Yeah.
Self-made.
A man that was never a boy.
I grew up picking blueberries.
$1.50 a bucket
Single parent mom
in a house.
with no running water.
We all got a dirt road.
As a child, I was scarred.
That's why I go so hard.
Dirt road to rodeo.
Get it all.
Without yayo.
We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. Dirt road.
Rodeo.
Get it all.
Without yayo.
We ain't doing
No time.
young boy.
Using his mind.
Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo.
Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo.
Let's go.
Dirt road to rodeo.
Get it all.
Without yayo.
We ain't doing. Guess what?
Boy using his mind.
Started dirt poor. Never had a dime.
No food in the house.
Guess what? I only had my mind. I'm from the bottom of the borough. Brother doing time.
Being poor around here is the
Guess what?
#1 crime.
Out the mud for real. So I stayed on my grind.
Schooled by the streets, I took an oath I never tell.
Guess what? Manifesting like a wizard with a spell. HK the educator. Knowledge for your soul. Mess around with me. We turn it. Let's go. Ain't nobody gonna live this life for you, baby. You gotta do it. But guess what? Your boy HK gonna do what he can to help point you in the right direction. Yeah. Dirt road. Dirt road. Dirt road. Get it all.
We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind.
Since a young boy.
Had the streets on lock, never knew my dad had to beat my pops.
I'm here now.
Ain't nothing they can do.
What up, Pooh?
Shot in the head at the age of 13 before his time.
Guess what? I'm gonna win cause he can't lose. My daddy left, he chose the booze. He'd rather drink than raise his sons. Now we all lost with drugs and guns.
By the grace of God.
They didn't get me. Rid of my car with shots. Divine intervention, baby.
No bullets hit me. I'm still here.
For a reason.
Did it all without yayo.
We ain't doing no time.
Young boy using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo.
Did it all.
Without yayo.
We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo. 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 Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy.
Using his mind. Moved to Beverly Hills and
Put myself on the map. All I kick is truth. All my words no cap. Hold your applause. I need no props. My team stay ready. We ain't thinking about the ops. I do what I want. I never ask permission. Battling HK, you in a messed up position.
play the game how it goes.
You can never catch me. I am making something out of nothing.
Yeah. Dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind.
Dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo. Dirt road to rodeo.
Dirt road to rodeo. Did it all without yayo. We ain't doing no time. Young boy using his mind. HK.
So Dirt Road to Rodeo, like I said, Dirt Road to Rodeo is not about me. It's about what I learned on that journey of self-growth and maybe something that I could pay forward. So it's levels to this thing. So we can look at Dirt Road to Rodeo as going from, like I said, a victim to consciousness to the growth consciousness, that victim mindset where they did this to me, this happened to me. And you know, like I can say the same thing. You know, my father left, he left me, you know, my brother got killed, this happened to me, and I make myself a victim, and I close myself off from the rest of the world. Or I can decide to grow through the things that I went through, learn something from those things, and see how I can pay it forward. So when I was on the dirt road, right, and we coming up, we dirt poor, we don't have anything, I had to get me. So it made me think, it made me be a taker. And what I mean is I had to go through life. I need, you know, I need this, I need that, I need that. I need food, I need clothing, I need shelter, right? But what that did was limit my world so much, and it made me so small. But now as I grow, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of me trying to take from life, let me see what I can give to life. Let me be a giver. Let me give more of myself. Let me give my time, my energy, money, whatever it is I have to give and to share. So what happened was, going from the dirt road to rodeo, I became a type of person that wanted to share. In the first half of my life, I wanted to take everything because I needed. I was in like a survival type mode. But going from the dirt road to rodeo into consciousness, meaning you got to look at yourself different. You got to look at everything different. So the fact that I grew up, you know, without a father, the fact that, you know, my father was an alcoholic and he did other things, I say, okay, well, I can relate to people on that journey, and I can let them know, just because you've been through certain things, you don't have to let that define you. You can actually decide to create the life that you want to live, but you got to do that consciously. So today we're going to talk about gratitude. We're going to talk about a few things that have to do with the brain, and I want you to get a few of these concepts so you can make practical changes in your life. Not only that, I'm going to give you some things to do, right? And if you do these small things, you'll start to make a big difference in your life. But like they say, you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. You got to actually do it. You know, too often in life, we know what to do, but we don't do it. It's the actually doing it that's going to get us the results, because we live in a world where you actually have to do things. This is a world of action where we can't just think about what we want to do. So first of all, let me say thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Like my boy Jay said, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with me. Listen, it's strength in numbers, right? So look at this as a class of consciousness where we all come together, you know, to get some concepts for the week, because we know we're going to face challenges this week. But if we can reframe those challenges, and if we reframe those challenges, then we can be able to deal with them more proactively and not let certain challenges hinder us and stop us. So first of all, thank you for all being here. I want you to set your intentions for what you want to get from this hour. You know, set the intention so you can be conscious of what we're going through, because this is the thing. We could sit here for this hour together and we can come up with concepts and theory. But guess what? You got to go out into the real world and you got to actually put it into use, and you will be tested. You will be tested with these theories. So I want you to, of course, we got to learn it. But at the end, when you get the list of things to do, just make sure you go out into the world and you try to practice those things. And even if you learn something here and you go out in the world and you don't get it right, first of all, you just recognize it and you say, okay, now that I know this, maybe next time I can be a little more proactive. And we just play a game with ourselves of how much better can I be today than I was yesterday? How much better and more productive can I be this week than I was last week? And if you do that, it's basically you versus you. Nobody on the outside. You got to get better. And to be honest with you, the biggest enemy is yourself. I know we think it's a lot of external factors, but it's us. It's our own negative thinking. It's the doubt that we have, the uncertainty, all of those things that actually limit us. But once we reframe who we are, while we on this planet, we can come up with a different way to move in the world and actually get some results and be happy at the same time. So what I want you to do right now, before I go any further, I want everybody to think of 5 things that they can appreciate. 5 things that you can appreciate. The fact you woke up this morning. I appreciate each and every one of you on this live. I appreciate social media for giving us the platform that we can all come together from different parts of the world and be right here. So what I want you to do is take that time to find some things to appreciate. And I'm going to tell you, like my friend said to me, what you appreciate appreciates you. So if you're in a relationship and you love somebody, make sure you let them know that I appreciate you. Okay, and you have to say it and not just think it. And the more they see that you appreciate them, then they appreciate you. So like he said, what you appreciate appreciates you. Too often we take for granted in life what we do have, and we want more. We want to grab for more, not understanding the way to get more to flow to you in a life. And life is to be appreciative of all the things that you do have right now, not having certain things and understanding that you're blessed, but you're always focused on the future. And it's going to be better when I get this and when I get that. And that's the mind to do that to you. And that's why we want to live present. We want to live present in the present moment and start to think of things that we can be grateful for and that we can be appreciative for. So before we go any further, what we're going to do is do a meditation out of, oops, I lost my page, out of one of my favorite books. Let me get that back. And that is The 72 Names of God. I highly recommend this book to anybody who doesn't have it. Some really good meditations that'll help you change the way you think and the way you look at life. So what we're going to do today is a meditation called what? Unconditional love. Unconditional love. We'll talk about it afterwards. So here we go. Unconditional love. A student once approached a sage who was well versed in the spiritual doctrines and the mystical arts. He asked the master to teach him all the sublime secrets of life, to explain all the magnificent mysteries of the cosmos that are hidden in the holy books. And he asked if all this could be done in the time that a person can remain balanced on one leg. The great sage carefully considered this request. He smiled warmly and replied, "Love thy neighbor as thyself. All rest is commentary. Now go and learn." So the insight for this right here. Loving our neighbors and our enemies for that matter has nothing to do with morals or ethics. Rather, Kabbalah teaches us that love is a formidable weapon in furthering our own cause in life, which is simply to gain truth of joy and fulfillment. In other words, we benefit. Love is a weapon of light, and it has the power to eradicate all forms of darkness. That is the key. When we offer love even to our enemies, we destroy their darkness and hatred, which is the reason they became our enemies in the first place. What's more, we cast out the darkness inside of ourselves. What's left are two souls who now recognize the spark of divinity they both share. This name awakens love for our spouse, our friends, family, and self. After all, we can share only what we possess. Thus, we cannot love our neighbor or our spouse if we don't possess love for our own self. Use this name to dissolve animosity and bitterness that might arise after an argument with loved ones. Remember this, like attracts like. By emulating the Creator's unconditional love for all humankind, you bring love into your own life. You create harmony between yourself and other people and between humanity and the natural world. So too often we forget about the love, and especially when we're operating in stress, which a lot of us are operating in stress right now. It's a lot of stressful times. Then that makes us be more self-centered and focus on our own survival. But when and that makes us use the lower part of our brain. But when we begin to focus on others and loving everybody around us, we're able to activate the neocortex. And the neocortex is actually the part of the brain that makes us human. But it's going to require love and interconnectedness. It's going to require bliss. It's going to require awe. You got to live in a state of joy. You can't do that if you're constantly upset and arguing with people and feeling like you've been done wrong. And the law is the law is the law. Meaning, as a man think, so is he. The only thing that you really have is your mind that's yours. And that's why they told us stand guard at the doorway of our mind. So if we can recondition ourselves and recondition our mind, then that's the seed level. Remember, the thought is the seed level. That's where we really make the changes at. So when we decide that we're going to let go of hatred or pain that we're feeling, that somebody calls us or maybe wronged us, it's never about them. It's about you. Because as you have these negative thoughts, as you have these thoughts of you've been done wrong and you don't like this person, you're actually self-sabotaging your own self, because you're the only thinker in your world. And we can equate this to the physicality. When you realize that every thought changes the biochemistry of your brain, you got to really start to pay attention to your thoughts. Because when you're under stress, you get stress hormones. But when you're operating from a place of gratitude and love and compassion, then you get a totally different set of hormones throughout the body. You get more serotonin, you get more dopamine, you get all of these neurotransmitters that actually help boost the immune system. So it does you a service to actually let it all go. And then you got to think about it like this: on a deeper level, none of us are perfect. We've all done things to maybe mistreated other people or things that we're not proud of. We don't want the Creator to hold that against us. We want him to be ever so merciful, right? So we have to do the same thing. We have to be merciful, but towards our brothers and our sisters and the whole family of humanity. And this is what I say. We got to find that cord that connects us all. Because when we start looking for the differences, oh, he's black, he's white, he's Christian, he's Jew, he's Muslim, you are basically using an old survival mechanism. And since we are growing as humans and it's time to evolve, we got to get out of that way of thinking of us versus them. Because again, we activate the lower part of the brain whenever it's us versus them. So we all want to come together and realize that we all on this planet together. That sun that you look at, it gives life to everybody on this planet. So we're all connected. And when we start looking at it, that we're all connected, now you see why they say, love thy neighbor. Why? It's because whatever you think about that person, you're actually creating that. So we can go to neuroscience and understand this. That whenever you think, you form neural pathways in your brain. Neurons have to fire together. So every time you think something negative about somebody, then what you're actually doing is creating that neural network in your brain, not theirs, your brain. And now you must see these same type of things in your world. That's why love thy neighbor as thyself. And if you do that, you wouldn't do anything to anybody that you wouldn't want done to yourself. And that's a part of growing with humanity. We all have to grow and get to that point. So we understand that love is the weapon that we need to use. We all need to, even when we walk into the world, just envision, because your imagination is all you got. So just envision your heart, right? It's full of love. And just envision as it beats out, it's just beating out love. It's beating out love to strangers, to people you don't even know. You just sending out love. Get on that love vibration, and then everything there you can attract to you. But you actually have to do it. You have to be conscious of it, because the minute you're not conscious of what you're thinking, what's going to happen is you're going to get negative thoughts. You create space. That's why they say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. All they're telling you is if you're not focusing on the things you want, you're going to get these negative thoughts. And you're going to get you're going to get thoughts, and these thoughts are going to be more than likely negative, because the brain job is to keep us alive. So it's going to spot the negatives. Once you know this and you start getting negative thoughts, you could take a deep breath. You can observe the thoughts and not identify with them. But first of all, having that awareness of what's going on will help you. That's one reason the scripture said, in all that you get understanding. So we got to understand the way our body, brain, and the universe work. And we can even look at that as a holy trinity. The body, the universe, the earth, the body, and the brain. And there's no coincidence that they're all 70% water, approximately about 70% water. So we got to get back into balance. So let me read the second half of the meditation before I go too far. Again, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Okay. So you may say, you don't know what these letters mean. If I'm being real with you, I don't either. But I focus on these and I do the meditation. Okay. Here we go. As I focus on unconditional love for all the people around me, the dark forces within are cast out. In the past, I have felt hatred for certain people. Now, as I picture those people in my mind, I feel only love. Light washes over them and me. And I recognize the common thread that we share, which is the spark of the Creator. My heart opens as I wish them joy and fulfillment, peace and greater understanding. We are one soul. As greater compassion and humanity awaken within for those around me, my family, friends, and neighbors. Those positive feelings fan out toward all humanity as love washes over everyone, bringing greater peace and understanding and harmony throughout the world. So that is the meditation for today. So the theme of today is going to be love. It's going to be love. It's going to be going into the world and just being happy that you are part of the human family, that you here, that you're alive. It was a 1 in 400 trillion chance that you would even be born. So you are a walking miracle. So begin to look at yourself as a miracle. Okay. And when you change the way you look at things, things change. So this your first time joining me. I appreciate it. I'm thankful for you and your presence. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to play a song off of this Gangster Mentality album. And the reason why I called it Gangster Mentality, because the mentality equals the mindset, right? And you got to have mental toughness in this world that we're living in. You got to have mental toughness. So every song on this album is to plant those seeds in your mind. Because the mind is just like a garden. In a garden, we plant seeds, we water them, we nurture them, they grow after their kind. You plant an apple seed, you get an apple tree. You don't get an orange tree. The same thing. When you plant positivity in your mind, it will grow after its kind. When you plant negativity in your mind, it will grow after its kind. And a lot of people seem to think that you could talk about negative stuff. You can be, around negative people, absorb all of this negative energy, and then wonder why you don't have a positive life. Just like it said earlier, like attracts like. You got to, and the thing about the positivity, you got to fight for it. Because like I said, the brain job is to keep you alive. So the brain is concerned with negatives. Because the negative is a threat. Well, actually, a negative used to be a threat. When the brain was, because it was when most threats occurred was in the external environment. But as we have evolved, now we have the ability, because the brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, we have the ability to fantasize about things going wrong. We have the ability to think about what they're going to do to us. To the brain, this is negative and it's a threat. And the same thing happens. I hope you get this point right here. The same thing happens than if you was actually, let's say, outside on the street and you was being chased by a dog or a lion. The same thing is going to happen on the inside of your body as if you sitting home and you worried and you're negative. The same hormones are going to be released into the body. And that's what the problem that we're facing right now, because most of our stress used to be a physical threat. Now it's more emotional. And that's why we have this high rate of depression right now. Anxiety and suicide rates are through the roof. But once we understand that our thoughts actually trigger the release of hormones into our body, and these hormones are either going to uplift us or they're going to be detrimental to us. And as we know, stress hormones are very, very detrimental. Anybody that has had let's say, an open heart surgery, or know somebody that had an open heart surgery, what did they do? They gave them stress hormones. Why did they give them stress hormones? Because those stress hormones suppress the immune system. Because if not, the body will reject this foreign tissue. So you got to keep in mind, whenever you're stressing, whenever you're upset, you're actually suppressing your immune system. So you have a decision to make, because there's so many things in the world that's going to be going on that's going to tell you, get mad. You should be upset. You should be angry. And when you do, you're actually poisoning yourself. And that's why the scripture talks so much about anger and letting it go. So when you can be triggered from the outside world. So once you understand this, you can begin to make a decision. You can get upset all you want to. You have free will. All I'm saying is when you get upset, understand you're going to get these stress hormones. These stress hormones, they travel in the blood. Blood goes to most places in the body. So now you got stress hormones coursing all the way through your body. Now you don't understand why you got backaches and you got headaches and you're lethargic and you got brain fog. You got a weakened immune system. You got so many things going on because you have so many stress hormones that are coursing through your body. So now we got a decision to make, okay? All right, so let's, I'm sorry, I kind of get veered off track a little bit, but I'm going to play a song off of this Gangsta Mentality album, and this song is called Why. And I really, when you listen to the song, what I want you to do is think about why. Why? What is the purpose of life? Is it for each of us to come here and work so hard all week trying to get material things and not even have time to enjoy them? And by the time we look up, we're at the end of our life and we're like, where did it all go? I don't have no meaning because I just accumulated a bunch of things that I can't take with me. As a matter of fact, when I leave here, my family probably going to fight over half of the stuff that's mine. So what is the purpose of life? Is it to get things? Or is it to become something? Is it to become something different and something better? And is it able to, each one of us, to leave something behind for humanity that can make it better for them? What is the purpose of life? I want you to think about that while we listen to this song. And this song is called Why. But ask yourself why. And happy Sunday, April. Here we go. Why by yours truly, Henry Kellum, off the Gangsta Mentality album.
You have to have a purpose in life. Something to make you keep going, no matter what. The last thing you want to do is quit on you. All those years ago when I was down the dirt road and my brother got killed, I looked at him and I told him I'll live a life big enough for both of us. So whenever I get scared, I have a reason to keep going. Something to pull me forward. What's your purpose? What you doing here?
Why?
What's your purpose? What you doing here? Why? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What you doing here? What you doing here? You gotta have a purpose in life. You gotta have something that drives you. Something that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning. Something that makes you want to fight. I'm breaking that cycle of generational poverty I was born into. I'm breaking that cycle of negativity I was born into. I want to pay it forward. I'm going to be to the world what I wanted when I was a child, and it never came. I'm paying it forward for the next generation. What's your purpose? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? Life is going to throw us all curveballs. We're all going to have setbacks. That's why you got to find your why. Your why will make it easier to step up to the challenges. I look at my little girl, that's another why. Looking back at it, let's think about the next generation. Let's make it better for them than we had it. No matter what, we gotta fight. Find the reason why. Why were you born? What is your purpose? Look in the mirror. Every day, the battle is with you. Ask yourself, why? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? You know my motto, it don't stop till the casket drop. That mean I'ma keep going. That mean I'ma keep fighting no matter what. And that's what you gotta do. That's why you gotta have a why. That's why you gotta have a purpose. See, if I give up, I think like this. My brother could have stayed on this earth, and maybe I could have left if I wasn't gonna do nothing with my life. So I had to find something to make me go no matter what. When people look at me and they talk about what is he doing, it doesn't matter. They don't know what I'm fighting for. They don't know what I've been through. They don't know my pain. Why? Why are you here? You gotta do this for you and nobody else. It's about you. Find those reasons to fight for. Find those people to fight for. What's your purpose? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? What you doing here? What's your purpose? What you doing here? Don't look back. What's your purpose? What you doing here? You came from. What's your purpose? What you doing here? Still got a long way to go. What's your purpose? What you doing here? What you doing? What's your purpose? What you doing here? Why?
So the question is why? What are we doing here? And finding a bigger purpose in life. So for me personally, you know, like I said, growing up down the dirt road, not having much, my father not being there, And not only that, him taking care of a whole nother set of kids made me and, my brother and them feel like we wasn't good enough, made us feel like worthless. So then what I had to do was find a purpose for myself. And nobody out in the world gave me one. So I had to create that own purpose for myself. And then when my brother got killed, I'm like, okay, I'm still here. He's not. I definitely got to go hard. It's got to be a point, for this life and everything. So for me, even doing this right here, facing my fears to, to speak to you all, to put something out there, to face the ridicule and different things, the purpose bigger than that is for my brother. It's for me to keep fighting. So the day when I do see him again or whatever, he's like, hey, did you quit? Did you give up? So for me personally, I might have not had cared enough about myself to do the things that I know I needed to do because, I was afraid and I let that fear stop me. But when I think about what I said to my little brother when he was laying there dead, and I told him, I said, look, I'm going to live a life big enough for both of us. So I'm just trying to keep my promise to him. So sometime what we got to do, we got to find a bigger purpose, a bigger goal than our own self. And that will actually give us the strength to keep going because we're all going to face challenges. There's going to be days where we feel like giving up, where things are not going right. And we're going to have something bigger than us to fight for. So ask yourself, what is your why? Maybe you got kids and you want to build a legacy for them and you want to leave something better than you had it. Maybe you just want to leave the world better than what you found it. We all talk about the problem that's going on in the world, but there's nothing going to change unless we change and we be the catalyst for that change. So I just want you to keep that in mind. And today we're going to speak a lot about gratitude, right? Because gratitude, just having gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude can actually make us healthy. And what do I mean? Gratitude is a direct antidote to stress because stress, like I said, you get stress hormones, you get cortisol, you get adrenaline, you get noradrenaline. But when you're in a state of gratitude, when you're in a state of love and compassion, then you're going to get endorphins and other chemicals like the dopamine and the serotonin and the oxytocin that will actually make you healthier. Not only that, by actually practicing gratitude, what you will begin to do is find more things in the world to be grateful for. And this all goes right back to the brain and the reticular activating system, which we have all, let's say, got a new car. And now you see more of those cars on the highway. The cars have always been there. But now that you got this car, you put attention on this car, you basically told your brain this is important to you. In the same manner, if you get up and you find things to be grateful for, then you're basically telling your brain to find more things in the world for you to be grateful for. You can actually rewire your brain to be more positive. But this is a thing that you got to actually do, and you got to be vigilant about it because the natural tendency is to think about what's not going right. You can have so many things going right in your life, but what we do as humans, we're focused on the one or two things that are going wrong. Not understanding that if we could just focus on the things that are going right, it's going to put us in a higher vibration. And then we can receive more things from that level of vibration. So that's on us. So we got to reframe a lot of the things that have happened to us. Instead of becoming a victim in your movie, become the hero. From Dirt Road to Rodeo, switch it. That's what Dirt Road to Rodeo mean. That means we're going to switch it. We're going to change the narrative. Okay? Dirt Road to Rodeo is just like the caterpillar. And then the caterpillar became a butterfly. The butterfly, it can fly. It has wings. It's totally different than a caterpillar. And what you got to understand is you got to become somebody totally different if you want to reach the goals and the dreams that you have. And now I understand why they tell us it's about the journey, not about the destination. Because in order for you to get the things that you want, you have to become somebody different. And that's just the fact of it. So life is a journey and we're constantly growing and we're constantly changing. And imagine if you get all the goals that you wanted right now, then what would you do? So as you grow, the goals get bigger, the goalposts move, but it's about a constant level of growth. That's what we all got to do is grow. So I want to say something about this scripture, right? And I want to shout out my guy, Neville Goddard. I don't know if any of you all listen to Neville Goddard or read any of his books. I highly recommend it. I love the way he breaks down the scriptures because he makes it practical for us. So, that's one reason why when I was young, religion didn't sit well with me. First of all, it divided people. We reading stories from 1,000 years ago, but we got problems and issues today. And okay, how does this right here Can this right here help us? Because remember, this is supposed to be a book of salvation, and salvation is a solution to your problems. So I noticed that when we began to read the scriptures different, it all made sense. And that's one thing that that always fascinated with me is how the ancients knew so much about the body and the world around them. But I guess they didn't have social media and so many other things to distract them, and they can actually be present and pay attention to the world and everything that's going on around them. Because once we realize that the brain's main concern is survival, then we can understand what we have to do, because we don't want to just survive, do we? We want to thrive. And in order to thrive, we got to use the neocortex, the top part of our brain. And when we're talking about that, we got to be in a state of love and interconnectedness and unity. So then you might look at it and say, well, now it makes sense why the world is always trying to divide us. It's always trying to divide us on the basis of our income level, on our skin color, on where we stay at. Do you vaccinated or not? Whatever it is to divide, because see, the powers that be, they smart and they understand this information. They understand this information. That's the whole reason why, let's say when you're looking at a car commercial, right? They got a sexy woman on the car commercial. Or matter of fact, it's a good one with that Hardee's and she's eating the burger, right? They advertising the burger, but they got this sexy woman. Why is that? They understand that sex is a function of the lower brain. Sex is a function of the lower brain. So if we can get you thinking about sex, then we can activate that lower brain. Now, it's only so much that you can do, because you're not using the full power of your brain. You're only using the base part of the brain, which is more animalistic. So now if you look into the world, or if you go on social media, you see everything is sex, sex, sex. Why is that? Because they can actually, the neocortex, the part of the brain that deals with reason and logic and critical thinking and solving problems, they can shut that right now. Now you got brain fog. You can't think. You can't focus and concentrate long enough. So you got to understand what's going on, because the politicians and the marketers, they know how all of this works. They know about this. So that's why we're going to give you some tools to try to get around all of that. So one of the best things that you can do is start to practice gratitude. Gratitude, no matter what. Gratitude, like I said, is going to make you healthier. It's a direct antidote to depression. If you're feeling depressed, if you're getting those depressive feelings, then what you need to do? You need to find things to be thankful for. You need to be in service to humanity, do other things for other people, and that will actually make you feel better. But we'll get to a few things that we can do for gratitude. But I just want you to understand the reason why I talk about the brain so much and in terms of evolution, because we got to understand that it's been thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years since the brain has actually changed. But the world we're living in is a totally different world. So we gotta understand this so we can begin to use our brain, and our brain does not use us. So like I said, we'll get to that in a second. So I want to speak. I was shouting out my man Neville Goddard, right? And I want to give you all a tool that I think can make your life a lot easier. And it's using the power of your imagination. Because that's one of the biggest powers that we have. And a lot of times we don't use that power by default, maybe because we don't really understand what it is. So it's a scripture, right? And the scripture says like this: all those who find me find life. All those who miss me injures himself. All those who hate me love death. And the way we've been taught about, let's say, religion is it's an outside man, it's a God somewhere outside of us, and this is him speaking. But when we understand, how about this? How about if we just imagine that this is your consciousness talking to you? How about if it's your consciousness that's telling you all those who find me find life? And what does it mean by find life? It means that you understand that the actual creative power is in your thoughts. So when you find me, you find life, because you can create from here. All those who miss me injures himself, because you don't know what that real creative power is. So now you can't maximize your life on this earth because you don't understand. So that's why you injured yourself. And when you say all those who hate me, all those who hate the imagination, love death. What does he mean by love death? The world that we live in could be looked at as the world of death. And what do I mean? Everything dies here. Everything that comes in this world actually dies. It can't stay forever. So when they say you love death, all they saying is you pay so much attention to the material world and not understanding that what you focus on, you're actually telling your brain this is important to you. So you're going to get that. So when they say you love death, you just love focusing on the material world instead of, let's say, taking some time to close your eyes, to meditate, to visualize your life the way you want it to be. To take the images that you want to see and put those in your house or vision board, put the type of things that you want to focus on around you so you can create from that space. That's why you find life. As a man think in his heart, so is he. You know, the ancients left us all the rules, but what did we do? We decided to fight about it. We the chosen people, they the chosen people, not understanding that even as we have these disagreements with each other, we're basically limiting ourselves. So what we're talking about is a high level of consciousness and a totally different way to think and looking at everything that is connected, because it all is connected. And the minute you start to divide, that's why they say divide and conquer. Because once you begin to divide people, then we don't have that interconnectedness and that love, then we can't create the way that we want to create. So I love that scripture when they say all those who find me find life. All they're telling you is create what you want. And a lot of people know that I am. I'm real big on the I am. What exactly is I am other than your consciousness? Other than I'm aware, I'm here. You know, I tell the world who I am without ever saying I am by the way I dress. By you know, if I go to the gym and I work out, then I'm telling you that my body, the way I look, my health is important to me. I am. So what you do, I am equals your consciousness. Everything is consciousness. That's why they got another scripture. Now, you know, I quote the scriptures and things, and people are like, is he preaching? No, I'm not preaching. I'm actually fascinated when I start to connect the dots. And I get it again, what they tell us. Lay up for yourself treasures in heaven is what they told us. And they told us we're moths, and it's an older scripture, but they basically saying, you know, if you put treasures into this world, it could be stolen. You know, even if you put your money in the stock market, you could lose it. It's so many different variables in this world. So it's telling you, don't find the treasures here. Find them in heaven. And then again, they told us the kingdom of heaven will not become with signs to be observed. So if they say, lo, here it is, or there, no, the kingdom of heaven is in. Heaven is a state of consciousness. So all they were saying, anything that you want, you got to get it in consciousness first. And that's the only way you can keep it. And we know this is true if we just look at the lottery winners. A lottery winner, or the person that won the lottery, that means they got something from the external. Let's say they got $2 million, right? So now they got this money. But they got a mindset of $100,000 person. So pretty soon that 200,000 would be, that 2 million would be 100,000, because they don't have the mindset to keep the 2 million. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta, if you're going to get 2 million, you need to have a consciousness of a person that's a millionaire so you can begin to keep the money. A lot of people think if I could just hit the lottery, if I can just get this, it'll be okay. No, you got to get it in consciousness first. That's the only way that you can keep it. So when it said lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, you got to lay up for it in consciousness first. And that's what the whole scripture was about. The scripture was about you and your consciousness. That's why they said stand guard at the doorway of your mind. It goes right back to the images that you're looking at. What they say was made in his image and his likeness. Man, or your manifestations were made in the image and the likeness of all the images that you see. So you got to begin to look at that and look at the scriptures as instructions to all of us. Do anybody got any comment, anything to say? Or y'all follow me? Am I just rambling right now? Can I get some feedback from anybody? So while I'm waiting on you all, imagination is everything. So that's what I had to do. Like from the dirt road to rodeo, right? I said, okay, well, I'm imagining something totally different for me. The world might say that I'm not good enough and tell me different things, but I'm imagining something different. And as I do that, I walk right into the life that I want to live, create, because I create from my imagination. So a lot of times I have to block out the outside world, block out these images, a lot of things, because I understand they create. They're going to, and if they get to the subconscious mind, it doesn't matter what it is. It will be birthed after its kind. And that's why it says stand guard at the doorway of your mind. All right.
You have to have a purpose in life.
Sorry about that. So I'm going to give, while I'm waiting on a comment or two, what we're going to do is shape a culture of gratitude, right? And so like you say, it's easy to do and it's easy not to. We all want to make changes in our life and we want better things. But what is so hard about us as human beings to doing the small things? Like, you know, they say wake up in the morning and find 5 things to be thankful for and actually write those things down. Do it. They say at night, you know, it's a good thing to do at night before you go to sleep. Find things to be grateful for. What you're trying to do is just keep your mind focused on the things that you want, because we know it's an everyday battle. I mean, I don't even want to say every day, every second, every minute, that if you're not aware of what you're thinking, we're going to get the negativity and those other voices, because all the brain wants us to do is survive. But we, as human beings, we want to thrive, and our thriving is on us. So we got to be conscious in it. We can't just be here and let things happen and we not be conscious of what we're doing, what we're saying, and what we're thinking at all times. Okay. Oh man, I'm sorry I keep doing that. So my advice to you is, you know, we talk a lot about getting a morning routine. In that morning routine, make sure when you wake up, before you check your phone, before you do anything, just find things to be grateful for. Just write down what you're grateful for. Go in the bathroom, in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and find things to be grateful for where you at. Nobody is perfect in where they want to be, but find things about yourself to be grateful for. Because 9 times out of 10, when you go out into the world, they're going to tell you you're not good enough. They're going to focus on the things that you lack, on the things that you have done wrong, because that's just human nature. But the question is this: do we really want to be humans, or do we want to do like the scripture said? Yeah, all gods. We're all creators, and live the life that we was meant to live. But if we're going to do that, we have to be conscious in everything that we're actually doing. And a good thing to do is, anybody that got young kids, do this with the kids in the morning and at night. Show them that it's, you know, you got to instill those neural networks in them to find the gratitude. And if they see you doing it, then that'll give them more permission to do it. But you actually have to do it. So 2 things I want you to do is, when you wake up in the morning, it's very simple. Find things to be thankful and grateful for. Before you go to sleep at night, find some good things that happened to you that day. Do this. I suggest you do this right here with your children. The 3rd thing I want you to do is pick a person in your life and tell them why you're grateful for them. Pick a person and tell them why you're grateful. Who knows what it'll do for you and what it would do for them. And another thing that we can do to increase our gratitude is get back to nature, right? Get into nature and find the little things to be thankful for. Matter of fact, when you go past a tree, have you ever thanked the tree? I want to see a comment. Has any of you all thanked the tree? And you might like, thank the tree for what? Well, first of all, they're giving you the oxygen to breathe. Look at the fruit that you get from an apple tree and an orange tree and all that. It bears fruit. It just gives to you. But have you ever took the time to even say thank you? Have you took the time to think about this world that you're living in and look at it totally different? Because I promise you, when you look at the world different, everything will change. That's what Wayne Dyer said. When you change the way you look at things, things change. So what I'm trying to do to get you is to change your mindset. Shift the mindset. Go from dirt road to rodeo. Go from being a victim to the growth mindset. Go from thinking about the body consciousness to the soul consciousness. Instead of being a taker and I need to get this for me, figure out how you can give. That's the evolution. That's the journey that we're on as humanity, from the dirt road to rodeo. It's about growth. It's about transformation, right? It's about alchemy. It's about coming somebody totally, totally different. Okay? Good spiritual food. Hey, I'm glad you said that. This reminds me. The song, right? Gangsta Mentality. That's soul music. Every song is a message to your soul if you actually begin to listen to the words in the song. It's all a message to your soul because, like I say, and I love my book right here. You see this book? It's called Prayers of the Poor. Why would we have a book called Prayers of the Poor? Because the poor part of us, that part that doesn't get any nourishment, is our soul. You know, we're going to do whatever we can for the body, baby. We're going to look good. We're going to put the clothes on. We're going to do all of that. But guess what? We empty inside. So many people have chased material things, but they empty inside. So we do a book called Prayer to the Poor so we don't forget about the soul consciousness. So going from dirt road to rodeo could be going from identifying with the body consciousness to the soul consciousness. And you was a soul before you had a body. You know, this body is just the house for the soul. So remember, energy can't be created nor destroyed. Your cells are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of energy. The energy was always here. It can't be created nor destroyed. So we need to focus more on the energy aspect than the physical aspect. When we focus on what color we are and all of that, that's the lowest level. And humanity has been dealing with this forever. And it's time for us to elevate and get to the next level. The only way we can do that is we begin to shift our consciousness and the way we think. So Souls of the Poor. Prayers of the Poor. I highly recommend this book right here also. Prayers of the Poor. So much wisdom in this book. So anyway, that's our daily prayer book that we do the daily prayers with. So we want to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. You know, we want to change. We want to begin to walk in the world and see things totally different. But try it. If you're not happy with what you got going on in life right now, what could it hurt you? What could it hurt you to wake up in the morning, take a few minutes and write down some things to be positive for? Or at night, to thank people in your life. What could it really hurt you? Just give it a try. Remember, we all want to change. We all want a different results. So you can't keep doing the same thing. How does it go? The true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and hoping for different results. In order for something to change, I'm here to tell you, you got to change. Okay? This is all about alchemy, baby. You have to change. So, yeah, that's what I got for you as far as gratitude. That's it. So what we're going to do, if I don't have any questions or any comments, I'm going to pick another song off of this Gangsta Mentality album because I'm trying to plant these seeds deep into your subconscious mind so they can grow after their kind. And that's the reason why you want to listen to this positivity and things like that. And a lot of people, you know, you out there in the world, hey, to each his own. Everybody got to do, you know, what works for them, and it got to evolve on the proper time. But if you're somebody that's wanting more happiness and more love in your life, then guess what? You need to kind of find things in the world that show you happiness and show you love, because the brain is a sensory information tool, right? And it blocks out so much information because you're getting so much stimuli and you couldn't handle all this stimuli. So one of the key things is the brain only lets you see what you believe to be true. So when you say, I ain't good enough, I don't know enough people, I don't have this, I have that, then your brain will say, okay, cool. Let me show you that. Let me reinforce this right here. So even thinking about what you don't want, you know what you do? Every time you think about what you don't want, you actually create a neural network in your brain because those two neurons got to fire together. So every time you think about it, you make it, you form a deeper rut and a deeper rut and a deeper rut by focusing on that. The only thing you can do is focus on what you want. Never see one thing about it. The brain can't process a negation. So you have to focus only on what you want. If you want to be successful, read stories about people who are successful. Look at successful things. Put successful pictures around you. You will begin to see more success in your world. It really doesn't take rocket scientists to figure it out. But the big thing is we don't know how. A lot of us don't really understand the way our brain works and looking at our brain as a process of evolution. So we don't know. So we can be taken advantage of. So people can control us. They can trigger us without us even knowing it. And when they trigger us and we get angry and we get upset, then there's only a certain amount of behaviors that we can do. So just start. So next time there's things going on in the world, just before you get upset, before you react, before you do anything, think about your boy HK and just let me breathe easy. Let me take some deep breaths. Again, the power of the breath is going to disconnect you from the lower brain and it's going to connect you to the neocortex. So now you can process information better and you could begin to think, and then you can start to see how it's all been playing out for you. So Dirt Road to Rodeo, man, that's what this whole thing is about, okay? When I tell y'all it don't stop till the casket drop, that just means every day we're going to get up and we're going to go hard. And if the world is negative, then guess what we're going to be? We're going to be positive. They're not going to tell us how to feel and everything. And there's so many benefits of gratitude, physical benefits, psychological benefits, social benefits. When you're a more gracious person, people want to be around you. You know what I mean? You're in a relationship with somebody. When's the last time you told them that you was thankful for them? When the last time you told them about the things they do right? Now, of course, we know you're going to talk about what they don't do and what you do wrong, what they do wrong. But ask yourself, how many times have you showed this person that you appreciate them? As a matter of fact, everybody take a quick second and think about the people in your life and imagine if they wasn't there. So this is how we got to operate every day, because some days you walk out the house and you see somebody, you might not see them again. So we always want to be in a state of gratitude. Let people know you love them. Let people know you care about them. So many people need that and they're not getting it, and they're not going to get it out there from the world. So all of us as spiritual gangsters, we're going to start this whole movement right here. We're going to make it cool to love each other. We're going to make it cool not to be in competition with each other. We're going to make it cool that when your friend gets a blessing, that you're happy for them and you don't feel some kind of way on the inside like, oh, this is negating who you are. No, we're going to do it different because we want a different outcome. And that's the only way it's going to happen. It's each one of us got to do this, and we got to have the permission to live free and stop trying to get things, because guess what? You care more about things than the actual human beings. And you can get the things again, but you can't get nobody else on this planet again. Right? So our value is based on our uniqueness, that we're 1-to-1. Your mother and father could try forever to have more kids, and they could never have anybody else like you. You are unique, and that's what the world needs. Your unique gifts. Everybody trying to be like each other and following the same script. Come on, man. Everybody's scared to be who they really are. We're all individuals sent here to this place called Earth with different gifts and different skills that we all have to play our part. If any one of us don't play our part, then the whole is missing something, because we're all part of the whole. That's it. It don't take rocket scientists to figure this out. But you know what? High key lifestyle, right? I'm going to give you the keys to the game. You're on a need to know basis, and I'm going to let you know what you need to know. But this is the thing. You got to do something different than what you've been doing if you want a different outcome. So let me you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to end it on this right here. We're going to face our fears. We're going to face the fears, because it's time to get busy living, because nobody knows how much time we got. So there's no need to be afraid. We just got to get out here and live life, and live it from a place of, just wanting to help. Remember that you're connected to everything in the universe. Okay. We can get into that a little later, but let me play this song, Face the Fear. And I challenge everybody to face your fears this week, to, in your imagination, live the life that you want to live. At least dare live it. Nobody can stop you from doing that. You can imagine what you want. So use your imagination for good. Most times you imagine the bad things. What if I don't get the job? What if they don't like me? What if they say no? You using your imagination to be bad. That's why they say in order to get in heaven, you got to be like little kids. Man, little kids is out there playing. They not thinking about what's going wrong. They come and they taking things and imagine it. They building forts. They can see all kind of different things. But us as adults, we so fixed in our ways, we got to get back to being like kids. We got to get back to playing. We got to get back to imagining and seeing ourselves the way we want to be. And as you see yourself the way you want to be, then you can become it. But remember, the thought precedes the action. You got to think it first. The covenant, as a man think in his heart, so is he. But look, here we go, y'all. Face the fear. Face your fears. What are you afraid of?
The fear is holding you back.
Not anymore.
The fear is keeping you from living the life you want to live.
We gone.
And what is fear? Other than
False evidence appearing real.
You were born with only two fears.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. All other fears.
Guess what? You have learned
The life you want to live.
is on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
The life you want to live.
It's on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
The thing you fear doing most, that's what you have to do. Because the life you want to live, it's on the other side of fear. And when you step up and you face those fears, you're going to see it was just a figment of your imagination. The fears don't exist. The question is, do you have the confidence to believe in you enough to step out that comfort zone? Enough to face the ridicule? Enough to find yourself on that journey by yourself with nobody? But deep down inside, you know what you have to make it. Can you face it? Can you face you? That's the question, fear.
The life you want to live, it's on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear. The life you want to live, it's on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
The life you want to live,
It's on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
the life you want to live,
It's on the other side of fear. Face the fear.
face the fear. You get one life. Live out loud. Fear nothing but fear itself. Live life with no regrets. Fear getting to the end of your life and regret not having taken a chance on you. All you have to do is face the man in the mirror. Beat the voices in your head of limitation, the voices of doubt. You got this. Let's go. It's all inside of you. Fear doesn't exist. Face it. Head on. Let's go.
The life you want to live is on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
The life you want to live.
It's on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
The life you want to live.
It's on the other side of fear. Face the fear. Face the fear.
The life you want to live.
It's on the other side of fear.
Face the fear. Face the fear.
So the question is, are you going to let your fear stop you? Or are you going to move on past the fears and live the life that you want to live? And remember, none of us know how much time we got. You know, we be thinking we got all this time, but you really don't know. So that gives you a sense of urgency, and you got to live in the moment. You got to live present, and you got to live every moment like it's your last. That's what this whole thing is about. Remember, daily vitamin G intake. Vitamin G, gratitude, daily. You need to listen, when you wake up in the morning, find those things. In the evening, find those things. Get a gratitude journal. Write these things down. This will change your life, but you have to actually do it. You can't think about it. You have to actually do it. That's why the scripture said they heard the word, but it didn't profit them none because they didn't do nothing with it. Okay, so you can keep fighting things in the external world all you want to, but the true power is on the inside. Okay, thank y'all for joining me today. Remember, Dirt Road to Rodeo. This is alchemy, baby. This is growth. This is change. This is each one of us got to do that. And what we need to do, all of us, is start this momentum, start this shift. Because by us living our truth, by us doing the things we want to do, you're going to give the people around you permission to do the same. A lot of people, they want to do that, but they're afraid. They've been hindered by those voices, and they're afraid of what people are going to think about me. And but listen, all that's irrelevant. It's a new day and it's a new time. And guess what? It's our time. And that's why, listen, I'm going to plug the gangster mentality one more time. And I'm going to plug it because I honestly feel like that if you actually listen to this album, right? Listen to it. Listen to it over and over and over. Listen to it with the kids. Listen to it later. Plant those seeds in their mind. Let's each one of us raise our vibration, and then we can begin to raise the vibration of the planet. Uh-oh, we got a guest. She just woke up. She late. I told her don't come in here until she wash her face and everything, but I forgot to do that. You forgot to do that. Okay. So Baby Lay is here. What you want to say? Hey, Baby Lay. Don't be ashamed. I know we had a long day. Daddy love you. I'm grateful for you. I'm thankful for you.
I should probably go wash my face.
You should probably go wash your face? Yeah, you should. We got time though. I love you, okay? See you in a little bit.
I don't want to look bad on camera.
You don't want to look bad on camera? April, you hear your niece? I don't want to look bad on camera. Auntie April here. She's coming back. Auntie April here. She said, hi, Auntie Slay.
Hi.
See, there she get. So me and Baby Lay finna go have us a day. We're going to walk down the road and find things to be grateful for and thankful for. And anytime Lay.
Why are you laughing?
Because you talking about you should go wash your face. You don't want to be on camera like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
How could you do that to me, Auntie?
She not laughing at you. She laughing with you. It's a big difference. See? That beautiful girl. She laughing with you. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you're so late. We're about to end.
So you so late. We're about to end. Yeah, it's been an hour, man. We got to go now. Next Sunday, though. We start every Sunday at 10 o'clock. All right, Lay. You got a lot to do today, so let's go. Okay?
Wait, can I add some touch-ups to the little thing that I was making? Because I want to make it perfect for Leia when she comes up.
Okay, cool. Her mama just texted too. All right, thank you.
She's coming?
Yeah, everybody have a great day, okay?